Receiving simulator transmission. Uploading transmitted feed. Initializing playback sequence. Log execute.
Hey everyone, Seipher here, and welcome back to Seipher Plays Pokemon Fire Red Nuzlocke. In the last episode, we made our way up Lavender Town's Pokemon Tower, calling the angry spirit of a deceased Marowak, and rescuing resident Mr. Fuji from the clutches of Team Rocket on the top floor. In reward, he gave us a Poké Flute, which we can now use to progress forward. In today's episode, we'll be doing just that by going to Route 16 and facing this Snorlax. Now, before we do start, I want to show my team, and as you can see from the sidebar, I've traded out 2-Blot for Nocturne the Haunter here. And I bet you're wondering, why is your Haunter now named Nocturne? You caught a Ghastly last episode that was named Casper. Well, I did not like the nickname very much, so I went to the very south of Lavender Town and got its name changed by the Name Raider. I also got Warren the Bloom, now Vileplume's name changed at the Name Raider to Warrid because I had gotten the characters mixed up when I was making that reference to Fairy Tail. With that in mind, I'm now ready to fight this Snorlax, so you want to use the Poké Flute. For those of you that don't know, the Poké Flute can be used in battle. However, it'll wake up both sides of the field, so don't use it if you intend to put your opponent to sleep. Okay, and we got a Snorlax here. Now, this Snorlax is exactly why I brought Nocturne into the team, at least for now. It can't really do much because its only moves are Headbutt, a 70-power normal type move that may cause flinching and is really good with that beefy attack stat it has, but can't do anything. Snore, which is a 40-power normal type move that can only be used while the opponent is while the user is sleeping. So again, not going to be able to do anything. And then finally there is Yawn, which will put the opponent to sleep after one turn, and can only be and then finally Rest, which will heal the Pokemon that uses it, like bring its HP up to full and cure any status conditions, but in return put it to sleep. The Snorlax can also be a bit tricky because it has a Chesto Berry, meaning that if it rests, it'll use up that Chesto Berry to wake up instantly. So, we're gonna just focus on using the Poké Flute and Nocturne's immunities to what it can do to make this catch really easily. So let's use Confuse Ray, because I want this thing to try and hit itself at least a little bit. Since while Nocturne can't be damaged by it, he also can't damage the Snorlax. So let's just try and get a little damage in and then start throwing some Great Balls at it. Okay. Let's just throw this. I know that you technically want some more damage on your catches, but I won't be worrying too much about it because I've got a lot of Great Balls here. And there we go. Thankfully that went fast. Okay, I probably won't be using this on my team at least right away. I mainly have used it a lot in my past playthroughs, and I don't want to rely on it. If something bad happens, though, I will definitely come bring it out, because Snorlax is probably one of the best Pokemon that you can get in Nuzlocke. I'm just going to go with the name Atlas. No real plan as to why. Oh, wait. Yeah, I keep forgetting. The Snorlaxes both have a hidden item buried under them. So you have to, just like the soothe bell in the last episode where Mr. Fuji was standing, you want to use the item finder where they were standing and get yourself a free held item, the Leftovers, a very good held item that, when given to a Pokemon in battle, will heal them slightly each turn. Very good for a Pokemon like Snorlax. Then you want to come up here and talk to this aide of Professor Oak. If you have at least 40 different species in your Pokedex, he will give you an amulet coin, another held item for Pokemon. This one will double the prize money that you receive from trading your battles, so very useful. With that, I'm just going to go down and we're going to progress forward. Now, Route 16. Oh, I did not mean to get caught in that battle, but oh well. Guess I gotta do it. Should be fine, though. I don't think this guy has anything major of note. Just a Mankey. And I think another... Oh, forgot that Mankey has Vital Spirit. Gotta remember that. So let's just use Confuse Ray then. I don't intend to fight all these guys. There's more important things that I'd like to do, mainly catch a few Pokemon and get a few items. Gonna just mainly try and breeze through this. Nocturne, I'm not too worried about getting any experience. I don't expect him to join the team. He's really just kind of filling Happy's role, now that Happy is kind of obsolete with how his stats have really fallen behind, and it's not worth it to keep him up in level. But should be fine with Nocturne. Granted, Nocturne doesn't have the high accuracy sleep move that Happy did, but oh well. Gotta just do what you can. He's good enough. I mean, 60 accuracy, while painful most of the time, isn't that bad. Could be a lot worse. Granted, I could also have Spore on a Paras or Parasect, but beggars can't be choosers. And of course, that didn't do much damage. I did not know that Seismic Toss actually worked on Ghost types. That's a bit bad. I better try and put it to sleep. Or hope that it hits itself, because I don't want... Oh wait, did he use... Yeah, I think he used Foresight on me, so... Let's swap in someone else, because I don't want Nocturne to get too damaged. Finally, you hit yourself. Yeah, I was just saying, that is why I have problems with training on screen. Having to commentate makes me not pay attention as much to the fights themselves, which really no excuse, but oh well. Let's just heal him up real quick with a super potion. Okay. Now, on Route 17, you're going to be going down constantly. It's just how the cycling road works. And good, I found the Pokemon that I wanted. Okay, so let's just put it to sleep. Or not. Okay, you know what? I'll put it to sleep after I confuse it. That way it might get a few hits in on itself. Doduo is the only Pokemon that I can catch on both this route and Route 18 due to catching pretty much everything else there on this route or in previous areas, so if I get this one, I basically knocked out 2 routes, so here's hoping. Okay, with that, we have it asleep. Now, Doduo is a bit of a different case because it might have early bird. And if it does, that means it's more likely to wake up faster than a normal Pokemon would, so if it does wake up, I'll have to hypnosis it again. But luckily, that's not the case. And with that, I know the perfect name for you if you've been paying attention to all the flying types I've gotten. Been a pretty obvious reference chain that's been going on, so let's go with Charlie. I might bring Charlie in after some training off screen. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Well, just a little bit of extra wasted time, no biggie. With that taken care of, we can now move on. You want to be... Crap, I did not mean to do that. Okay. Getting a bit more fights than I intended. Oh well, no problem. Can easily take care of this. Just Shadow Punch at Nocturne. Now, there are hidden items on this route, the cycling road, Route 17, but I will not be going for any of them because I want to focus on other things. However, on the right path, you want to stop and look around, maybe use the item finder a little to try and find this, because there is a rare candy, and you can never have enough rare candies, especially in a Nuzlocke. So let's just Shadow Punch Voltorb. And we're getting sparked again, hopefully not too much damage. Crap, I did not intend for that. Okay, let's just swap in Darwin, because any electric attack he uses will be completely useless. And just because it's powerful, I think that a Thunderbolt should be able to take it out with the 6th level difference and the fact that we're fully evolved. Okay, I'm not going to worry too much about Nocturne's status right now. I just want to get through the route. I recall... You can use the B button to stop when you're in this downhill area. And with that, we've made it to Route 18, and even further, we've made it to Fuschia City. So I'm going to quickly go heal up, and then focus on the main objectives of this area that I wanted to go over. So let's get healed. Always takes forever, but oh well. Let's go. Okay, so this area does have a lot of cutting trees, but you can navigate around them. You don't need cut for it, but first and foremost, you want to stop here. The fisherman in this house is the older brother of the fishing guru, and he will give you a new fishing rod if you say yes to his question. The good rod, which can catch a variety of different Pokemon, whereas the old rod could only catch Magikarp. I will be using that in other episodes, but not today, to catch some new Pokemon in areas that we couldn't catch before. Next, you want to go over here to this gate east of Fuschia, and then go upstairs and talk to this aide. If you have at least 50 Pokemon species in your Pokedex, which I do, you will get a experience share, a held item that will basically give the Pokemon that's holding its experience from battle without having to participate. Good way for training up weaker Pokemon. It'll also give them the EVs, if I remember correctly. So with that, now the main objective that I want to get to in this episode, and that would be this building here, the Safari Zone. Now, the Safari Zone is a special area. You don't catch you can catch Pokemon here, but not in the traditional way. I have mainly wanted to talk about it here because I have a very particular rule set. Normally in Nuzlocke, you get one first encounter per area of the Nuzlocke, of the Safari Zone. So Like the entrance area, you'd be able to find one Pokemon, but only the first encounter, second area, third area, so on and so forth. I, however, never really understood that policy. Sure, it gets you more Pokemon, but the Safari Zone is kind of bad with how catching works. So I came up with my own special clause, the Nature Reserve / Special Reserve clause. And the main gimmick is that I can catch one Pokemon in here, just one, but it can be any Pokemon that I find in here, or from any visit, but only just the one. And the reason that I see it this way is that the Safari Zone is not a typical catching area. You don't fight the Pokemon, you just throw a ball or throw some bait or throw a rock or mud and hope that you find the right combination of those things to catch the Pokemon that you're looking for. And because of this, I don't think that it's too much of an issue to negate the first encounter clause, because you're not guaranteed to catch anything in here, because catch rates are rather ridiculous, and having to debate between rock / mud, and ball or bait is kind of ridiculous. So, with that explained, I'm gonna go in with 500, and I might not catch anything this first time, because there are things that you have to do in here to be able to progress later. But we'll see, depends on what I run into. I will be coming back to this area in particular, as it has the Pokemon that I want to catch using my Nature Reserve / Special Reserve clause. But for now, no, not you. If I do run into it, though, I'll definitely make an attempt to catch it before we move on to the main thing. TM11 Sunny Day, not super useful, does raise the power of fire-type moves by 50% and lowers the power of water-type moves by 50%, also makes a move called Solar Beam. Not take 2 turns to attack, but not going to be anything I'm going to be using. Let's see here, Full Restore, that's a very useful item, going to be helpful later on. Basically, what it says on the tin, fully heals a Pokemon. Okay, not you, got you, thankfully. Let's see if we run into it. Nope. You are a female, but not the one I'm looking for. But we'll come back to that for another time. Don't believe that this area has what I'm looking for. So let's go up here. I'll probably do the other capture, well, do the capture in another game where I can actually focus on looking for it. I believe this is TM47 Steel Wing, a very good move. A bit inaccurate, but steel type move that raises defense and has decent power. You'll definitely want to teach it to a flying type Pokemon, because in the event that they have to fight a rock type, that's pretty much the only way that they have a chance. At least certain flying types. And a good buff on their defense can always come in handy. Okay, this is the area that you want to go to. You want to make sure to grab this Pokeball, because it is the Gold Teeth, a key item that will become important later. And what's this? TM32 Double Team. A bit of a cheesy move, increases evasion. I probably won't be using it because I don't want to use it, but oh well. This guy you want to talk to, because he will give you perhaps the best HM of them all, HMO3 Surf, a 95 power, at least up to Generation 5. Water-type move that hits both opponents in a double battle, and in Gen 3 only hits the opponents, not your ally. So very useful. Definitely want to put that on Maverick, but I'm going to focus on getting back to Area 1 of the Savari Zone. You can't use it outside of battle yet because we don't have the appropriate gym badge, but we'll be getting that soon enough. Crap, did not mean to go this way. Okay, well there's no chance of Pokemon that I want showing up in this area, so hopefully we can just get through here. If I run out of time, I'll just be sent back to the entrance and have to pay another 500, then I can just run back to the area that I know that the Pokemon I want spawns in and use up my time there. If I don't catch it in this episode, I'll likely just come back later in another episode and catch it, but I'm hoping that I can catch it in this episode. Okay, now we're back in Area 1, and I'm just going to run around in this grass here until time runs out. Granted, this Pokemon is very rare, only has a 4% encounter rate, so we might be here a while. But should be fine. I just gotta make sure that I'm careful not to accidentally throw a ball at any of these things, because I will count any misclicks as permanent choices, can't take back, even if it's something I've caught before. Just to make it a bit more interesting for you guys. But I'm gonna be trying to focus. And of course I didn't get it. Okay, well, let's try one more time. A 500. Let us in. Yes, we know. Special kind of Pokeball, Safari Balls. Now we can just focus on running through this grass. If we run out of steps, oh well. We can always come back later because there are other things that we need to do. Let's focus now. Come on. I know that you're out there. We can just get you in and then focus on other things. Come on. If you have a Pokemon with Sweet Scent, this area is much better because you can just use that instead of running around in the grass, and that'll keep you from wasting steps and just bring Pokemon to you. You could also use the repel trick that I had mentioned a few episodes back to control what you encounter, since that'll eliminate anything weaker, but I don't have anything that can use that, and I don't have anything in my team that would make that effective for what I'm trying to catch, because I know that this Pokemon only comes at one level, and it's lower than what I've got. And besides, I wouldn't want to catch a Pokemon that way. In Nuzlocke, better to just go through the pain of trying to track it down. Granted, this is the best area that we can get with 4%. If we went to Area 3, we'd have a 1% chance, but a higher level, but I'm not putting any of you through the pain of trying to find a 1% encounter rate. Granted, a 4% doesn't seem much better from how this is going. But we should be fine. Come on, I know you're in here. Ooh. Let's go, come on. Let's go. Come on, I know that you're in here. Just come out so that I can catch you. So many Dodos want to join the team, but I'm not interested. Bring out the Kangaskhan. I mean, I guess... just come on, I really want this Kangaskhan. But I'm not getting it. Come on, this should not be this difficult. Well, I suppose since I did explain the rules, I could catch it off screen, but that's not what I want to do. I want all the captures that I can to be on screen, because that would be better than, at least in my opinion. Granted, it does make these episodes longer, but I don't think that's really anything to complain about. Come on. I suppose with how good my luck was in getting that Snorlax and only 2 Great Balls, I was bound to have some bad luck. But didn't think it would be this bad. Granted, 4% encounter rate should be hard to find, but I swear I've had better luck finding 1% encounter rates in another area of the Safari Zone on my own time. Come on. Where are you? Now, I suppose I should explain, as I had said, the Safari Zone doesn't work in the same way as regular battling. You only are able to throw a ball, throw bait, which will keep the Pokemon from fleeing, but will make it harder to catch, or throw a rock in this game, but in other games, which will make the Pokemon more likely to flee, but easier to catch. It's a very complex system. I personally choose to just chuck a ball at the Pokemon, and if it flees, just find another one in normal playthroughs. But hopefully that's not the case here. Hopefully I just get it in one ball if I can find this Kangaskhan, because this is starting to get ridiculous. Like the game doesn't want me to find Kangaskhan. Seriously, what the heck? Okay, if it's not in this grass, after this, I should probably check another area of grass in this, another section of grass in this area. Not you. Where are you? Forever just to find one Pokemon. Here I was hoping that this episode would be a bit shorter because there wasn't much to do, but Oh well. Longer episode, I guess. At least than I had originally intended. However, if I do run out of time on this attempt, I will just do one last thing and then end the episode off, and we'll try again next episode. But hopefully that isn't the case, because I'll get it not now. But in the next encounter, please give me the encounter I want. Oh. Come on out. Finally! Jesus Christ. Sorry for taking the Lord's name in vain, but this was taking forever. Okay, so Kangaskhan, as I said, bait, rock, or ball. I'm just gonna chuck balls, because I don't really want to deal with the... Oh. Okay, come on, get in the ball. Seriously? Oh my god. All that work and for nothing. Well, I'm gonna keep on trying to find it. Hopefully that works out. But if it doesn't, oh well, can always come back. Okay, you get in the ball this time. Seriously. Finally. Okay, with that I have the perfect name in mind for you, because I had kind of planned this when I made that rule before starting this Nuzlocke. I'm gonna name you after one of my favorite YouTubers, Rebecca Parham. Since the name amount isn't long enough for it, I'm just gonna use Parham. And I guess I'll give the baby its own name, based on her popular phrase. I'm gonna call it Oodalolly. So with that, we can now leave the Safari Zone. Not sure how many steps I still have left, but with Harem caught and everything, I can now just do one last thing. And luckily time's up, so we can just instantly go back. And with that, there's just one last thing that I want to do. Because those gold teeth belong to the person in this house by the mailbox, the warden of the Safari Zone. So you want to give this guy the gold teeth, and he will give you HMO4 strength, which will allow you to move boulders like this one, the field. You'll definitely want to move this one because I believe it's a rare candy. I'll be doing that off screen. So with that taken care of, everything that I wanted to do in this episode has been accomplished. I will start training up the new recruits for the team, and I will meet you back here. Thank you all for watching. Until next time, stay gold.
Playback sequence terminated. Transmission disconnected.